8th Grade starring Elsie Fisher is about an introverted teenage girl who tries to survive her last week of her disastrous year before leaving to start high school. Now, I just want to say I would never have seen this movie if it wasn't for the director. And if you know anything about what Bo Burnham typically does on stage, this movie and his director debut is absolutely nothing like that. What he does for his performances where Bo is the lead has about as much in common as a blue whale and craters on the moon. But that's okay, because I don't think I would want to watch Make Happy or What in movie format anyway. This film really spends the majority of time it has exploring the relationship of Kayla and her father, and I really believe that everyone in this project actually is between 12 and 19 years old because they actually are. I'm sorry Twilight and Napoleon Dynamite, but you guys are old enough to have your own children in middle school. Yeah, sure, it's a movie and it doesn't ultimately matter, but when you take the time to do something and you do it right, you earn so much more than the respect of the viewer. To actually have Instagram and YouTube and Wendy's and Claire's instead of a weird fake knockoffs somehow convey a sense of realism instead of distraction. I mean, seriously, how many times have you heard or seen something that you know isn't Facebook, but they want you to think it's Facebook? It's about as cringeworthy as the lines that are only written to seem relevant and relatable to the youths of today, which this movie actually does really well because they make the adults the ones who are trying to impress the kids so that they seem cool. You know, kind of like the way powerful executives do when they tell someone to make the Emoji Movie or Pixels. But honestly, I fall into kind of a weird category in my opinion. I don't have any kids or young teenagers, and 8th grade for me was over 10 years ago. Yet they don't seem all that different from what I encounter on a day-to-day basis. Sure, they can't get out a single sentence without saying like, and yeah, and whatever, but they're 13 years old, of course they sound like that. They gotta deal with nervousness and intimidation and pressure to conform just like anybody else. That stuff doesn't go away, but it probably feels most abrasive during that time of life. Yes, they can be total nightmares and the most rude, selfish beings you've ever met, but they spend nearly every day dealing with the same things as well because all their peers more than likely fit into that same description. If you know an 8th grader, try to show them some empathy and let them look up to you if they do. And be nice to your dad and give him some grace to be himself. But, I don't know, that's just how I feel. Gucci.